Chapter 13, Creating a Peaceable Classroom. What is peaceable classroom? The concept was first coined by William Cradler, an elementary school teacher and conflict expert who said that conflict in the classroom was caused by many factors such as miscommunication, inclusions, and the ability to express feelings appropriately, and the lack of care and respect for each other. A survey of 99 high school students in the Philippines revealed that bullying in the classroom is one of the major causes of distress and anxiety among them. Victims have experienced being hit, beaten, and locked in room, kicked, spat on, pinched, push, and scratch among others. Damaged self-esteem is one of known effects of bullying students. Others absent themselves frequently from class and some have dropped out. Creating a peaceable classroom is a way to help students respect and appreciate each other regardless of differences. The classroom is a zone of peace. First is listen when Sam is talking. Do not exclude anyone. Say only kind words. Speak gently. Show respect for each other. Peace in many languages. Salaam, Arabic. Bubutu, Lingalal, Congo. Shalom, Hebrew. Biki, Hungarian. Amani, Swahili. Shanti, Hindi. Damay, Indonesia. Haiwa, Japanese. Piangwa, Korea. Paz, Spanish. Pax, Latin. Express feelings appropriately and encourage students to do so. When there are students that anger you, refrain from aggressive way of reacting. When our patient is tried, the level of the anger thermometer in our bodies goes up and we tend to react forcefully. For example, instead of saying you are very irresponsible, when a classmate comes to your group meetings a week after appointed time, you can say, I am frustrated whenever you came late for our meeting because we might not be able to get the grade we want for this project. So, as teachers, choose to say nice and gentle words. A painful truth can be said in a way that does not injure. Again, I message are helpful here. Instead of blaming students, refer to how you feel about a behavior. Example, I am bothered when I see some of you talking while a classmate of yours reciting. A peaceable classroom is one where students feel safe, secure, and comfortable in their learning environment. The prefix peace implies just that. However, the model comes from the notion of conflict resolutions built into the classroom climate. Let's take a look of how we can teach students to resolve their own disputes and create a warm, welcoming classroom experience. When creating a peaceable classroom, it is important to let the kids take the wheel. A peace classroom is a warm, welcoming environment where conflict resolution is fostered. The students are expected to take care of each other, and when conflicts arise, they are taught to work through the difficulties together. By using techniques such as peer mediators, designated spaces, and I statements, we can create a peaceable classroom environment and teach kids how to handle disputes when they leave our institution.
Let's move on and discuss about encourage respect for and acceptance of differences. A peaceable classroom is one where students feel a sense of belongingness and acceptance. Hence, they should not be ridiculed or marginalized, especially for characteristics that beyond their control. It is important to respect other people's differences. It can help people or students come out of their own bubble and teach them something new about the world we live in. It can also increase new ways of thinking, provide new opportunities for students, and dispel misconception about different skin colors, cultures, religions, sexualities, and etc. Acceptance of differences sees tolerance as giving permission and opportunity for other people to live a life they want, which means being able to respect existing differences and people are seen equal even though the differences exist. Just remind them that people differ in sexual orientation, mental ability, and manner of dressing or speaking, among others, and these differences do not give anyone the right to tease, exclude, or hurt another. Humor is encouraged in class, but jokes should not be said at someone else's expense. Acceptance, goodwill, and respect are the cornerstones of successful communication that cross all barriers of class, gender, race, and ability. Next is employ more cooperative than competitive activities. Cooperative activities are those that will enable the class to work together to pursue a goal. Ugly competition breeds division that may set conflicts in motion. Competitive behavior occurs when there is a goal that not all participants can achieve equally, and their mindset require us to rival with or defeat others to achieve excellence. On the other hand, cooperative activities promote positive interdependence where students learn the skills of communication and collaboration to reach a desired goal. Students can actually learn better when they also help to teach other students. When students are given cooperative activities, they learn how to solve a problem together and to help one another using members' different talents, skill, and strength. So next discussion is about teach students how to resolve conflicts peacefully and constructively. When there are hurtful situations, take an active role against it, mediate in conflict situation. If two or more students struggle to resolve their conflict, this feeling may lead to explosive behaviors and resentment. Later on, communication emotional of conflict resolution that can lead to high functioning and more satisfying relationship in all aspects of life. It is normal to disagree with each other from time to time. Occasional conflict is part of everyone's life. However, it can be stressful and damaging to relationships. Just remind them that a solution may be found if they will genuinely listen to each other's perspective. Designate a peace corner in the classroom or a peace area in schoolyard or grounds where the students can talk about their concerns. So next is practice student skills of communication. Many conflicts in the classroom arise because of miscommunication, misperception, and misunderstanding. There are times when what we say is not accurately received by the other or when what we do is inaccurately perceived. One way to help avoid conflicts emanating from miscommunication is to teach the students how to clarify a paraphrase. Teach them that when something said bothers them, they should clarify if they received the message accurately. Like for example, may I know if I'm correct in understanding what you said? Did you say that? People sometimes have the tendency to speak before they think. Before they could catch themselves, the negative words have already been spoken. Like for example, the negative word is shut up. Change it into positive one, like please keep quiet. Or you are too noisy. Change it into positive one, like may I have some private moment, please? Our words can be two-edged sword. We should be careful on how we say things. Teaching our students to choose the words they say in consideration for other people's feelings will help reduce conflicts in the classroom. A peaceable classroom is one where students feel safe and secure. It is a place where they are free to be the person they are, cognizant of their responsibilities. It is a place where they grow as a person without threats of being ridiculed, marginalized, or hurt. Teachers can help build these kinds of classrooms if the principles of peace are taught and live in the classroom. It will be easier for learners to carry on these values and skills to their other peers of interaction. And peace teachers should be happy that they have done their share in the building a society where the new norms are peaceable.
So, my topic is teaching learning approaches and strategies in peace education. Before we going to tackle the main topic, we will to define first what is peace education. So, peace education aims to help students acquire skills for violent conflict and resolution and to reinforce these skills for active and responsible action in the society for promotion of the values of peace. Now let's proceed to our topic, the teaching learning approach and strategies in peace education. How is important as the what is the teaching learning approach that are compatible with the goals of peace education are holistic, participatory, cooperative, experiential, and humanist. Holistic education, it is not confined itself to the parameters of facts and concepts. Instead, it promotion to cognitive, active, and behavioral goals of learning. And participatory education means allow learnings to inquire, share, and collaborate. It also learning to engage in the dialogue with the teacher or with the co-teacher. And in participatory learning, teacher act for more as facilitators rather than a authority figure. It also means very away from the traditional indoctrination style. The observance of democratic processes in the classrooms can contribute to the development of knowledge, skills, and attitude necessary for the democratic citizenship. And comparative learnings means giving opportunities for participation to work together and learn rather than compete with each other. Aside from increasing motivation to learn, improve realization among students, and challenges individualism, and listen to dividedness and feelings if produce imperative classroom student learning to rely on each other, and the success of learning activities depends upon the contribution of one. The student will experience competitive processes in the classroom, such a habit could be brought by them into their larger spheres of interaction. And the one is experiential education. Experiential education means learning not taught didactic means but taught the processing of one's experience from activities initiated in the classroom. Learnings build ideas from first their own concepts from the experience or activity they when taught. Carl Roger and Abraham Maslow are proponents of a type of education that is humanist. A humanist classroom emphasizes the social, personal, and active growth of the learnings. In a humanistic classroom, individuals are accepted from the accepted for what they are. Yes, 1984 says that without a positive self-concept of or self-image, no one stands, goes public, or works for change. He also posits that the more aware we are of our giftedness, the more willing we become to share our gifts with others. Teachers in a humanist classroom are empathetic and affirming. They show interest and concern for the well-being of their students. They also encourage sensitivity to diversity in the classroom. Such approaches will help breed in learnings the seeds of love and compassion value that are necessarily in building a peaceable society. There are many teaching learning strategies that are compatible with the approaches to peace education describes above. There are the following follows. Um, Number one is discussion. So discussion is small. The small group discussion is a strategy that used to enable the individual's participants' voice to be heard. To the most to be most effective, a discussion has to be based on punctual information and good thought out ideas. And number two is fair share. Fair share is a discussion technique where partner groups are formed. Facilitator poses a question or topic for discussion. Example, person A responds to the question uninterrupted while B is listen. After given time, partners reverse rules. Later, A relates to the class the points B express and vice versa. It is a good exercise to improve listening skills.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Alan John Endelantes, and this is my part of report from chapter 14, entitled Teaching, Learning, Approaches, and Strategies in Peace Education. Number 3. Visualization Imagination Exercise. Visualization is a technique that allows you to set the parameters to make your future vision in a reality. In creative visualization, you direct your brain to focus on what matters the most to you and to engage in a process called selective attention. The importance of data visualization is simple. It helps people see, interact with and better understand data. Whether simple or complex, the right visualization can bring everyone on the same page, regardless of their level of expertise. 4. Perspective taking. A way of thinking about and understand something, such as particular issue or life in general account. He helped us see the problem from a new perspective, angle point of view. The ability to understand how a situation appears to understand person and how that person is reacting cognitively and emotionally to the situation. 5. Role playing. To pretend to be a particular character and to behave and react in the way that character would. I know some of us really enjoy role playing and acting. In Britannica dictionary definition of role play, an activity in which people so and say things while pretending to be someone else or while pretending to be in a particular situation. 6. Simulation games. What are simulation games? Simulation games are a genre of games that are designed to mimic activities you'd see in the real world. The purpose of the game may be to teach you something. For example, you could learn how to fish. Other simulation games takes an operating business such as a farm or a theme park. 7. Problem solving. Problem solving is the act of defining a problem, determining the cause of the problem, identifying, prioritizing, and selecting alternatives for a solution, and implementing a solution. Problem solving and its important. Problem solving is a mental process that involves discovering, analyzing, and solving problems. The ultimate goal of problem solving is to overcome obstacles and find a solution that best resolves the issue. 8. Considering positions. Issue poll. An opinion poll, often simply referred to as a survey or a poll, although strictly a poll is an actual election, is a human research survey of public opinion from a particular sample. 9. Encouraging action. To inspire someone with the courage or confidence to do something, to stimulate something or someone to do something by approval or help support. What is the role of encouraging? It helps with restoration and rejuvenation of the body and soul, and renewal of spirit of others and even of those who encourage. According to recent research, encouragement is vital to child maturation and adult optimal health. The healing benefits of encouragement outweigh criticism and can build self-confidence. 10. Reading or writing a quotation. A quotation, sometimes called a direct quotation, is when you use the exact language from a source and place that language into your own paper. 11. Web charting. It is a graphic representation of multivariate data with this sort of chart. Various groups of values with multiple common variables on a single chart is shaped like a web. Why is charting used? The main functions of a chart are to display data and invite further exploration of a topic. Charts are used in situations where a simple table won't adequately demonstrate important relationships or patterns between data points. 12. Use of film and photographs. Photographs are used to tell stories in many different ways. Scientists use photography to document new plants or to be able to study animals. In more depth, photos are used in textbooks to teach students about different places around the world. Family portraits hang on walls of almost every home. Why is film photography so important? Think before you shoot. One of the biggest reasons that I think film is important is because it really forces you to think about the composition of your image. Before you press the shutter button, with a digital camera, you can take hundreds of shots of the same subject and choose just one as your final image. 13 subject and choose just one as your final image. 13. Stories including personal stories. Why is it important to tell personal stories? Stories help makes us human. These preserve culture, pass on cultural knowledge, and connect us to universal truths. We all tell stories about ourselves, share our experience, twists and turns, and our ups and downs. It is what makes who we are. It is what makes each of us unique. 14. Song or poem analysis. Songs and poems are important pieces of arts that are used to convey different messages within the society. Such genres of literature can convey a message of love, art, hate, jealousy, war, or politics. 15. Sentence completion. Sentence completion tests the skills to use the information observed in complex and incomplete sentences in order to correctly complete them. It tests a candidate's vocabulary power and skill to follow the logic of sentences. These sentences are often quite complex. How does sentence completion work? In the sentence completion method, respondents are given incomplete sentence and asked to complete the thoughts. These sentences are usually in the third person and tend to be somewhat ambiguous. 16. Journal writing or individual reflection. Self-reflection enables you to move from just experiencing into understanding. Self-reflection encourages a level of self-awareness and consciousness about practice, enables you to identify areas for improvement and also areas where you are strong. Journal writing is the process of recording personal insights, reflections, and questions on assigned or personal topics. Journal projects assigned in class may include your thoughts about daily experiences, reading assignments, current events, or science experiments. 17. Go around. Go around doing stuff. To spend your time behaving badly or doing something that is unpleasant for other people. 18. A teachable moment in education is the time at which learning a particular topic or idea becomes possible or easiest. Teachable moments are how individuals develop, learn new skills, and grow their abilities. Because teachable moments are unstructured and take place in real time, they break down the typical defensiveness or trepidation individuals may have in a more structured feedback situation such as a review. 19. Interviews or research. An interview is a structured conversation where one participant asks questions and the other provides answers. In common parlance, the word interview refers to a one-on-one conversation between an interviewer and an interviewee. Research is defined as the creation of new knowledge and or the use of existing knowledge in a new and creative way so as to generate new concepts, methodologies, and understandings. This could include synthesis and analysis of previous research to the extent that it leads to new and creative outcomes. Expert resources. Expert resources typically refers to individuals, documents, or materials that possess a high level of knowledge, skills, or proficiency in a particular subject or field. These resources are considered authoritative and reliable for obtaining information or guidance on a specific topic due to the expertise they represent.
Reciprocal teaching. Students take turn evaluating what we hear, we usually forget. What we see, we usually remember, but what we do, we better understand. When given a chance to teach the subject matter, students are given the chance to comprehend better the concept, values, and skills you want to impart. Swimming. Students may partner with another person from a different locally via email or regular mail to discuss topics related to this. Dialogues. Students are given the opportunity to converse rather than debate about problematic issues. In debates, the goal is to prove each other wrong. Dialogues, on the other hand, are occasion to find common grounds. Exposure trips. Students are given the opportunity to be touched by victim of any justice. Seeing, hearing, and encountering a victim of violence is more powerful in developing empathy and compassion among the learners. Contact opportunities also motivate better and putting students to action. Use of globes and maps. A constant show of this device will remind learners that there are people from other countries to care for and concerned about others than what one's own. Brainstorming is a method that helps people think creatively by letting many ideas flow from the students without any comment from the others. This strategy can be useful in generating many different evaluation or alternatives. Evaluation of the ideas is done after the brainstorming. Reading quotation. Based activities, religious leaders, indigenous community leaders, and philosophers have said words of wisdom and inspiration that relate to peace. Lecture students ponder on this quotation and speak about the impact of these ideas as well. Use of charts and graphs. Statistics do not have an impact on students in the same way that contact with victims of injustice does, but statistics still help in giving learners an idea of the extent and magnitude of the problem in society. The Human Development Report, our annual publication of the UND, is a rest of resources for facts and figures. Case studies. This strategy gives the students an opportunity to know real-life situations of violence or injustice. Case studies are stories or scenarios that require analysis and provide solution. Students are put in the position of the problem solvers who discover underlying issues, precision, and interest. College meeting. A college is a selection of photos from various sources that are put together to make a whole. Asking students to make a college on issues that relate to peace will help them understand those issues better show and tell. This strategy gives students an opportunity to explain a concept to his or her classmates with a matching visual aids and premises on the belief that if one can explain a concept to someone else, this person without them understand the concept.
Peace education, a pathway to a culture of peace.
This approach to attract strategies are important tools toward the development of the students, intellect, attitudes, and spirit that they may be inspired to work for peace. And deciding what approach the strategy to take the particular lessons, seasons, objectives have to be considered. Which strategy would be most appreciated and effective in achieving the latter? As we use the forgiving tools, let us always be mindful of our goal, which is to facilitate learning that is a holistic, participatory, collaborative, and experiential and humanities.
These are all the topics that indicate in Chapter 14. Next group will discuss the next chapter of this lesson.
Chapter 15. Attributes of a Peace Educator. The praise of the medium is the message used in a school setting suggests to us that teachers have the power to affect the lives of children and youth. Students often remember the informal and hidden lessons, not from the overt or stated curriculum, but from the attitudes, values, and action of the teachers themselves, within and outside of the classroom. We now know that to be more effective, the medium must match the message. Indeed, Peace educators must serve as models for the qualities and skills they are helping young people to develop in a peaceable classroom and schools. This means, first and foremost, that there is a need for the teachers to take the challenge of personal transformation so that they can be credible agents of the peace message. So, according to Lantieri and Patty in 1996, remind us that as teachers, we have to transform ourselves before we can expect to see the changes of the learners. For instance, in order to help young people confront their prejudices, we have to confront our own and commit to changing our negative attitudes. What attributes, capacities, and skills must a teacher of a peace develop to enable her or him to be an effective medium of the peace message? The following attributes are culled from the work of Betty Reardon, 2001, a globally renowned peace educator. The teacher of peace is a responsible global citizen, an intentional agent of culture of peace, a person of vision, capable of hope and imaging of positive change. She or he understands that education should be means toward constructive change. She or he is motivated by service and is actively involved in a community. A teacher of peace sees himself or herself as a person responsible to society. And also, she or he is a lifelong learner, one who continues to improve one's own learning abilities and to keep abreast of the field. She or he is also both a transmitter and transformer of cultures. While transmitting one's traditional culture, the teacher also has to be critical and reflective, so she or he can also be an effective agent of social and culture transformation. She or he is a seeker of mutually enhancing relationships that nurture peace and a sense of community. For example, respect for human dignity and human rights should guide teacher-student relationships and the learning processes. And also, a peace educator must be gender sensitive and alert to any possibility of gender bias in SOL for students. She or he must help both male and female learners to form positive identification for themselves and to develop gender sensitivity and gender responsibility toward others. A teacher of peace is constructively critical. She or he offers criticism not to wound or harm, but to elicit constructive change. A teacher of peace intentionally develops a capacity to care by knowing the learners in their charge as individuals. This enables the teacher to respond to the differences in students' learning styles as positivity as she or he is expected to respond to other human differences. The skill of caring is integral to the peace education process. Caring and supportive behavior from teachers lets the student know they are valued. She or he is an inquirer. She or he poses instructive question into the conditions that impede and those that enhance possibilities for achieving a culture of peace. To be able to conduct an inquiry into the many issues and goals of peace education, a teacher of peace needs the skills of elicitation to draw from the students their own visions and ideas, to make them delve deeper into their own knowledge and imagination, and to seek new knowledge. The teacher then is more a raiser of questions than a giver of answers. She or he has the skills of reflective learning through which she or he applies what is learned from teaching to deepen his or her own understanding of the students and the learning processes. This includes reflection on or assessment of one's own abilities by posing some fundamental questions such as how effective are our teaching-learning interaction in achieving our goals? What indicators do I have that students are finding satisfaction and meaning in their learning? A teacher of peace has the skills of communication and conflict resolution. These are essential skills for building community and peacemaking. These skills are explained in an earlier chapter. She or he practices cooperative learning by encouraging cooperative learning tasks and discouraging negative competition or in a group out-group behavior exclusion among students. And lastly, a teacher of peace inspires understanding of alternative possibilities for the future and for a culture of peace. She or he helps students to plan and act to achieve such a culture. The core questions he asks are, what kind of world do we want? What changes needs to be made to achieve it? What are our so special responsibilities to carry out the transformational process?
In the teacher training workshop that the Center for Peace Education has conducted over the last several years in the Philippines, the teacher participants were asked to identify the attributes of someone they have considered as a teacher of peace. The qualities that were most frequently mentioned were: number 1 is passionate for peace. It's when you follow your passion in life, you are happier overall. 2. Compassionate, concerned, kind. Being compassionate, concerned, kind can help other people and make you feel good too. 3. Caring, encouraging, understanding. Being caring, encouraging, understanding for hard times that have the power to improve yourself and someone's day. 4. Respect other people. It means that we have to accept our different opinion and behavior as valid. Number 5 is gentle and non-threatening. Not likely to cause someone to be afraid or worried. 6. Fair, impartial. It means free from favor toward either or any side. 7. Has faith in God, inspired by his, her spiritually. Faith in God brings comfort and cheer, and spiritually can help you deal with stress by giving you a sense of peace, purpose, and forgiveness. Number 8 is facilitators of learning rather than sources of authority. A teacher who does not operate under the traditional concept of teaching, but rather is meant to guide and assist the students in learning from themselves. Number 9 is tolerant, open, respectful of ideas of others. Is being respectful and accepting of others' approaches, even if they go against what they think or feel. Number 10, sensitive to diversity in the classroom. Accept learners as they are. It means encouraging your students to discover different solutions, allows everyone's voice to be heard and respected. Number 11, open to sharing relevant personal stories. Learning more about someone and their story enable us to understand and hence form a deeper connection. 12, skilled in eliciting thought and posing reflective questions. It means allowing students to share their thinking about specific academic content. 13. Motivated, enthusiastic, inspiring. Necessity is the birthplace of motivation, while enthusiasm is yearning. Inspiring enthusiasm does not always motivate people. You may feel inspired at the moment, but you are actually only enthusiastic. 14. Joyful, not wanting in humor. It's just feel good. It distracts us from our problems and promote a higher perspective. 15. Bearers of hope rather than despair. It means bringing the hope-filled message of Jesus to those experiencing the darkness of despair. 16. Models of behaviors and attitude that they teach. It means behavior is the way that someone acts, and attitude refers to an expression the way one feels.
In the previous chapter, the next group discussed how teacher and individual classroom can contribute towards building a culture of peace. We now turn our attention to how they can support by a peaceable school. I will introduce myself first. So my name is Micaela Kiniging and my topic is all about a whole school approach. To be more effective in infusing these ideas, perspectives, and values into the life of school and even beyond, it is suggested that a whole school approach to adopted. So, in a whole school approach, we try to engage all the learning areas, all the members of the school community like student, faculty, staffs, and the wide community. So the approach also includes other aspects of school life such as teaching practices and methods, students, activities, administrative policies, school structures, and relationship, as well as the social actions with a large community. A whole school is important. Why is it important? Because the consistent peace messages and values found in the various aspects of the school and community will facilitate and reinforce the intended learning. So, the peaceable school must be prepared to be a counterculture, to be dominant, paradigm, and be an initiator and facilitator of needed transformation. So, I will describe the framework that a school in the Philippines has adopted in its attempt to use a whole school approach. So, let me show you the figure that presents a diagram that Mariam College uses guided it. So, this is the figure of school approach. We have peace-oriented curriculum content, cooperative dialogical teaching learning methods, co-curriculum program, peace-related materials, enrichment programs for staff peace and conflict resolution, participative structures and caring relationship, peace actions activities of social concern. The vision mission statement of Mariam College as explicit in its aspirations to develop persons who work for peace that is based on justice and contribute to the oneness of human family. So, the school vision mission inspired college to adopt peace education as one of its trusts. So, the school motto is Mariam para sa kapayapaan, katarungan, at kalikasan. In English, Mariam for peace, justice, and environment. So the meaning about this motto is reflect the philosophy of the school. It is the philosophy anchored in the principle of love, which is inspirations of justice and which in turn leads to peace. So it is also based on the principle of respect for human dignity. In 1991, the school community committed itself to being a zone of peace. As the Zone of Peace Declaration states, the community strives to promote caring relationships, cooperations, nonviolent conflict resolutions, assembly lifestyle, and activities of peace and social concerns. Mariam College recognizes that to be able to promote peace education more effectively, it is better to work for a whole school approach. So this school approach involves three areas of institutional concerns: the vision, mission, and goals of the institutions, the content of education, educational process and other school experiences, both overt and hidden, and the structures and relationships operating in the institutions. Let's proceed about the effort toward a peaceable curriculum. First is peace perspective and dense and integrated across the curriculum. A special peace focused curriculum and text is used in the grade 7 social studies subject. A 3-unit college-level course, Instructions to Peace Studies, is offered as a required major course in the International Studies Department and is taken as an elective course by other students. Likewise, the course Educations for Peace, Gender Equality and Environment is required major course in the College of Education. A Peace Studies minor is one of the options available to the undergraduate students. A 1-unit course called MC 101 that introduces the core values of the school: peace, social justice, gender, and environmental care is taken by an undergraduate and graduate students. Sessions and nonviolent conflict resolutions are part of the regular high school, college and adult education homeroom development programs for students. So we're done about my topic and hope that you will understand my discussions. So the next group will proceed and continue about this topic. So that's all. Good day and have a blessed day, everyone.
I'm Maria June Arsorella. I will continue the topic that Micaela was tackled a while ago. I'll discuss about the teaching learning methods, co-curricular and student activities, and lastly, the peace-related materials and other resources. And now, let's talk about the teaching learning methods. The teachers, particularly of the courses mentioned by Micaela's topic above, strive to use methods that are cooperative, participatory, dialogical, and experiential. They consist of cooperative learning approaches, reflection, and sharing imagination exercises, stimulation of role-playing, followed by debriefing film, or documentary showing conflict resolution exercises, use of stories and music, and etc. Second, let's talk about the co-curricular and student activities. Out of classroom, student activities also help in the learning and appreciation of peace. The Pax Christi student organizations in the different units have helped enliven these activities. Among those that have been used to raise peace consciousness are exhibits during the International Day of Peace, and throughout that week, poster making on themes such as No War Toys this Christmas, making of peace kins and banners, putting up of an outdoor display called Pinwheels for Peace, mini workshop on vision of peace among religious, a twinning project between Miriam College, whose students are mostly Catholic, Christians, and a school in Mindanao attended by Muslim, enables the students of both schools to know each other more and help break down the age-old barriers of prejudice. The project's theme is Building Bridges of Peace and was launched in 2014. The activities have included the following exchange of letters, joint training on peace education between the teachers and the students, production of joint newsletters, and mutual assistance. Students from Rahamuda High School have given presentation to Muslim students which are increased the latter's understanding of the Mindanao conflict situation, while Miriam students, parents, and school employees have cooperated to help them materially and through advocacy. Lastly, the peace materials and other resources. A special collection of books and other materials on peace and nonviolence is available as a separate section in college library. This makes the collection very accessible to both faculty and students. Peace-focused books has been produced such as Tungo sa Mapayapang Mundo o Toward a Peaceful World, and Conflict Resolution and Peer Mediation source book, as well as research-based papers on peace topics. The school has a peace garden, a special resource located in the campus mini forest park where a person can deepen understanding of the meaning of peace. The garden features sayings on peace inscribed on tablets placed on the natural rock formations from Jesus, St. Francis of Assisi, Mahatma Gandhi, and Mother Teresa. The garden also features a peace pole, an international peace symbol with over 100,000 planted around the world. Thank you for watching and listening my discussion. And now it's Sheila's turn to tackle her assigned topic.
Good day, everyone. I would like to introduce myself. I am Shalini Jitandan, and I am going to continue about the topic, the whole school approach, which is the chapter 16. But actually, Majun and Michaela already started this topic, which is their part, and now I am going to do my part in this report. So we have the enrichment activities for administrators and faculties. Seminars, talks on peace education, peace spiritually, conflict resolution, and alternatives to violence have been held. So before the start of the school year, a workshop on peace education is given to the newly hired faculty. A shorter orientation is given to other new employees. A Peace Corps group consisting of representatives from various units have undergone more intensive sessions in order that they can serve as catalysts in their units. They are also sent growth opportunities outside of the school to annual Mindanao Peace Building Institution. Participative structures and caring relationships. The school encourages democratic processes and the discharge of various functions within the school. There are committees for various purposes. The representatives from faculty, students, and administration. Some committees formulated policies while others rendered decisions. Participation is also encouraged in choice of school leaders. Any member of community may nominate administrators, supervisors, and even members of the board trustees. Those who wish to serve in leadership positions are also encouraged to apply and make their interests known. So in case of conflicts, there are democratic processes available to help resolve said conflicts in a fair manner, like the faculty students arbitration board, the grievance committee. Opportunities for building and sense of community among the school members are provided. This includes celebrating special days as one big family, holding community reflections session, especially at critical time such as when the school had to change its name, and encouraging openings, cooperation, and affirmation towards each other. A more peace-oriented discipline policy is currently being worked on as of publication time to make it less punishment-oriented but more focused on the students' well-being, the principle of freedom with responsibility, and the restoration of relationships. Peace action activities of social concern. Peace building includes not only the renunciation of physical and structural violence, but also the positive engagement and activities that empower the weak and poor, who are ordinarily the victims of violence. Hence, the college provides to its members opportunities for reach-out activities which mainly build a sense of self-reliance among the outside groups served. Some of Miriam initiated reach-out programs where members of the school can volunteer are A. The academic and vocational program for illiterate adults and out-of-school youth. B. Catechetical ministry for public school children. C. Educational sessions for mothers and children in poverty situations. D. Enrichment sessions for handicapped in cooperation with the Marino Sisters. E. The Mariam Volunteer Mission Program for overseas locations such as in Thailand, Burma, border area. Members of the school committee are also encouraged to do volunteer work in partnership with outside groups through the coordination of the Institutional Network for Social Action and Kilusan ng Miriam sa Kalamidad, Miriam's movement to help calamity victims. So they are also encouraged to participate in other forms of peace action, such as writing letters. That's against the media violence. Love buying and participating in demonstrations, supporting the peace process and ceasefire, calling for the repeal of death penalty, calling for a gun control law and a ban against the manufacture and sale of gun replicas, and representing position papers and petitions to authorities, seeking the retention of Article 9 in Japan's constitution, calling the government officials to shun corruption. The foregoing is an attempt to illustrate how a school can begin to take steps toward a whole school approach. Institutional and administrative support is crucial in this process, and commitment of those who will take the lead and those who will cooperate is essential. There will be demands in terms of time and preparation for different elements in the approach, but the rewards will be worth and effort. It means being able to celebrate a school culture that is not only peaceable but also facilitative of needed changes in the larger society. That's all of my report, and good day again. Thank you.